Hi, beautiful. Welcome back to the Becoming series. My name is Anesu Mawuta, and I am the director and founder of We Are Becoming, which is an initiative centered around encouraging and empowering women to become the most confident, vibrant, and unique version of themselves. Today's guest is truly passionate about making an impact in people's lives. She's a life coach, mentor, inspirational speaker, and business executive. She is the founder and director of Purposefully Branded. And her mission is really to get people to walk in their God given destiny. Join us in welcoming Bathabile Magethi to the Becoming series. Hi, Bathabile. Welcome.
Hi, Anesu.
Welcome to the Becoming series. Thank you so much for being willing to be a guest on our show. We are so glad to have you with us. How are you doing?
Thank you so much. I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here. So looking forward to the conversation.
Me too, me too. So as we said before, or as I, sent you in my email, this month's theme for We Are Becoming is reconditioning. And we want to focus on reconditioning our minds, our bodies, our habits for life in the new normal. Life as we know it is completely different. And so I think a lot of people have been battling with anxiety, battling with the uncertainty, not knowing how to practically adapt to the season. And we really want to dive into that topic.
Awesome.
Yes, the first question for today is, what has your experience of lockdown been?
Okay, so it's been such an amazing experience. And amazing is the word that I can think of currently because of the growth that I've experienced. Because I'm a wife, I'm a mom, and I run my own business. So you can imagine when lockdown came on, the lady who helps me, she had to exit, so she had to go home to Lesotho. And I've got 4 small children. I've got a home that I have to look after, and my husband is essential services because he's a medical practitioner, he's a medical physician.
Okay.
And that means his hands could not be on board. He obviously had all these responsibilities in hospital. So it was amazing in the sense that I saw a Bathabile come through that I had never quite seen before. Because what I've said before to a few people is that it's amazing how our lives get to a sense of comfort with regards to all the almost the conveniences that we have around, the convenience of having someone, a full-time stay-in person that basically takes care of your household while you run the things that you need to run. And suddenly having that help literally gone in 2 days and having to figure out how to go about it. It was amazing how I saw God helped me step up to being the person that I never really thought I could be. Homeschooling all 4 kids during the season, it was a challenge, but as I say again, I saw the resilience that I actually never thought I had. And just being able to keep the peace and the equilibrium in this home, amidst everything that was happening. It really was an amazing experience, and I choose to see it that way versus the challenges that were there. I really just choose to see it as it was an amazing experience.
Oh, I love to hear that. I love to hear that. And I like the point that you made about being introduced to a new version of yourself,
Yeah.
Very, very important. And I think I share the same sentiments in that regard because this season has forced us. It's like forced us it's like
Yes.
to swim,
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, I love the fact that you said that, and I'm glad that you've chosen to see it in that way, and you've chosen to see the positives in the season.
Yes.
I know a lot
Absolutely.
of people aren't at that place where they can actively choose to see the positives,
Yeah.
just because of their circumstances. And I think you kind of touched on the second question, which is what have the most difficult aspects of the lockdown been, or of the pandemic been for you, and how have you overcome these difficulties?
Sure. So I think the most difficult, interesting enough, the most difficult for me was the homeschooling.
Okay.
Because I've got 4 children, my son is in grade 5, my daughter is in grade 4, and then the other 2 younger girls are in grade 1 and grade double R. Now, the actual planning that it took to get everybody to get their schoolwork done, it required planning like one has never seen before, because there's limited devices in the home and everybody has to have their schooling done. And I believe that was the most challenging for me, because I was constantly grappling with, I don't want any of my children to lose out. I don't want them to miss out because I'm not able to get to this. I'm not able to get to this.
Yeah.
And I think really that was challenging. It pulled me in all sorts of directions as a mom, because I didn't want my children to fall behind, so that when they eventually get to school and catch up, I didn't want them sitting in class and teacher says something and they're feeling, oh no, we didn't touch on that. So that was the constant battle on a daily basis. We literally have a war room in our dining room where we literally have a schedule up on the wall, everybody's names down, the dates, the subjects, literally. It looks like a war room where we were just planning how to really combat this new homeschooling system. And as much as it was the most difficult, and because it really did render me to tears, and someone may say, what do you mean? Because I'm looking, I have to do the washing, I have to wash the dishes, I have to make sure the house is clean, I have to do my own purposefully branded work. And how do I fit it in? And I found myself just literally crying one evening. And God said to me, ask me for help. Let me help you. And yeah, so definitely that is one of the most challenging, but I overcame it by just seeking God for help and asking him for his strength. Every day, my prayer was, give me strength, give me wisdom, show me what to do. What should I do? What should I focus on? And this is where, as a woman, you have to be comfortable with your house, not being in the pristine condition that you are used to it being. Because you cannot have everything sparkly when you don't have the full-time help and you do not have all the resources to be able to do it. So I really had to be comfortable with it. The kids' room looking shabby, but they've made their beds, they put away their toys, but it's looking neat. It's not necessarily as shiny as I would like it to be.
I like that. Thank you for sharing. In terms of your business, how has lockdown impacted that?
Sure. So you can imagine, I'm in the space of coaching and speaking. Yes. And what does that space require? It needs you to be in spaces and places. So definitely no speaking engagements during that period. Obviously, because as budgets were being cut, where are people cutting in those areas, unfortunately? So business literally became non-existent because a lot of people were finding it difficult to be able to keep up from a financial point of view with things that they don't see as pertinent, versus it became like bread and butter issues now, where coaching seems to be a luxury, or in arranging a Zoom conversation or a speaking engagement via Zoom seemed like, you know what, people are dealing with more difficult things. We're not going to be arranging a Zoom call just for you to speak to people, albeit I think differently, purely because of the belief I have in my work. But what I've done, because I knew that this kind of period can really render one to a space of being unproductive and feeling really just down because business is not the way it should be. So what I did was I continued with what I call a 21-day dream challenge, which is a monthly habits challenge that I invite women, and I literally walk them through the journey of garnering healthy habits, so that on a daily basis, they are doing specific things that are keeping them focused and ensuring that they don't lose themselves during the period. And at this point, we are sitting on the 8th dream challenge, where I started with close to 15 ladies when I started it in December, 15 to 20 ladies. And to date, the July challenge has 222 ladies that are signed up for the Dream Challenge. And it's been an incredible journey. And I've seen testimonies like you cannot believe. And that is work that has not been paying, because I have not been charging anybody for these challenges, because I'm aware that people right now are mindful of their rents and senses and sense. And I can't be in a space where I'm saying, hey, come let me teach you a habit. Oh, and by the way, pay me for it. But I realize that people need this, but they need their money to be spent elsewhere. And it's been an incredible journey for me. I've grown as a coach, and I've seen women grow. I've seen women having prayers answered. I've seen women give me incredible testimonies about what is happening in their lives because of this Dream Challenge. So what I did is I saw that there's an opportunity to continue my work, but in a different way. It may not be paying, but I believe that the dividends from the work that I've done will pay, for years to come.
I love that. I love that. Thank you for what you're doing. And you are right. This is what people need in these seasons where we lose momentum and we lose strength, we lose drive. And yeah, for me, I realized also the winter months are where I feel the lowest, and I kind of start losing steam. And on top of that, there's a pandemic that we're dealing with. You know? And so we're stuck. Like mentally, we're stuck. So having challenges is what honestly just brings us out of that space and pushes us to. So thank you so much for being the person that you are and like really living out your purpose. And that's really what your business is about, right? Just
absolutely.
Really of who God has called and created you to be. Can you expand on actually your business? I know I'm going sidetracked with the questions, but just
no stress. So Purposefully Branded is a coaching and speaking business where we help people rise to the occasion of their calling and purpose. And what we do is we provide them with the right tools that they can use to really get to the purposes that God has placed inside of them. And as I mentioned, you find that a lot of people are walking around with almost a feeling of, I'm not too sure what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not too sure, why God has placed me here on earth. And what we do with the work that I do, be it if I'm coaching, be it I'm mentoring or speaking in engagements or having seminars, I literally reach out to that space inside of an individual that starts a stirring to say, I'm here for greater things and I need to walk the journey to find out what those things are. And that's basically what we do. And we believe in the habits challenge because we know that once people start garnering the right habits, then they're in a position to start hearing from God clearly to say, what are you actually here for? Okay. Because it's actually a journey. If I just unpack the dream, the dreaming time in prayer, in the word, and in saying declarations concerning your life. Okay. And what happens when you are garnering that relationship, you are opening yourself up to God depositing what it is that he's put inside of you so that you can see it and start walking in it. And then the reading piece is one that opens you up to a whole different world, because most of us, once we have children, once we get married, once we start getting busy with other things, the reading goes out the window. But if you remember when you're as a young child, if you were a reader, there's so much that it develops in you from a creative point of view, from a vocabulary point of view, but also just from a knowledge-based point of view. So you find that a lot of what I've also garnered outside of getting it from the word directly, it's through the extensive reading that I do. I do a lot of reading. I mean, it has not always been the case. We are sitting today, it's July 2020. I've read already 14 books throughout the year, for the year. And that is an intentional journey that I'm on every day. So currently, for the first time in a very long time, I'm reading 3 books at once. And the reason that I'm doing it now is because I found that those 3 books are necessary for the season I'm in. Okay. I'm reading a book called The Power of a Praying Wife, which I've read before, but I'm reading it now because I've got Visionary Wife Takeover happening this week on Instagram. So this is an opportunity to impart to women regarding their purpose in marriage and how to just carve that relationship in marriage. And I'm also reading a book by Amy Grushel and her husband, which which is called From This Day Forward. It's also a book on marriage and just helping people having the right thinking regarding marriage. And then I'm also reading a book by Rick Warren called The Bible Study Methods, which is teaching you 12 ways on how to study the Bible so that you can gain maximum impact. And what I found through the reading, there's so much that has come out inside of me, you know, and that's why I encourage it. Your reading, you need to treat it like brushing your teeth. Literally. Actually, your prayer, your devotional, your reading, you must treat it like brushing your teeth. You must literally go back and say, oh my word, I didn't read. Oh my word, I didn't pray. Because you would never leave the house without brushing your teeth. And then the exercise portion is so important in the sense that a lot of us, because we're so busy and there's so much happening, and stress is a byproduct of the life we're living today. And you find that there's this fogginess. I don't know if you felt this foggy, where you feel like you're not thinking straight, you feel like you're tired, you feel like you're not too sure what's wrong. Nothing fixes that like exercise, like moving your body. And we are not talking hours and hours in the gym. We are not talking you trying to be a summer bunny. We are talking you doing it as part of your well-being. Because when your brain senses your exercise, it's almost like it's like water. When you are thirsty. So exercise is literally like water for your body. And I found that with exercise, I sleep better at night. I find that I'm more alert. And I find that I'm seeing myself being able to think clearer than when I'm not moving. And I know it. When I start feeling sluggish, I start looking, what's wrong? And I'm like, oh, I skipped 2 days of exercise. I mean, yesterday was such a busy day. I didn't get in my exercise. I was so tired. I had so much that I had done. And I was battling between my husband saying, no, sit and watch soccer with me. I'm like, I don't want to watch soccer. I need to do this. So I eventually, went upstairs, and you won't believe what I did. I got into my gym gear. I sat on that bike and I put in 20 minutes. And once I had cycled, I felt amazing. And so that's the exercise piece, the exercise. And then the A stands for actioning gratitude.
Okay.
It is so important during the season to be grateful for everything that we have. Look at you and I, Anesu. Look at where we are. You are in a beautiful room that I can't see what it is. Your offices look absolutely impeccable. You've got those beautiful braids. You are a beautiful woman. You've got, just looking at you right now as I frame I'm seeing, there's so much for you to be grateful for. Yes. I'm looking at a Black young woman doing incredible things. That is something to go and put in your journal and say, I'm grateful for this office. If you've never been grateful for that space, I suggest you go and be grateful for it, because, somebody doesn't have that space that you have. The fact that you and I can have this conversation via technology, it means we have the technology and the data or the Wi-Fi to do this. So what I encourage is every day, 3 to 10 things you are grateful for. Yeah. What are you grateful for every day? And I just want to, if I quickly just open in my gratitude journal. Yeah. So one of the things, for example, I've just opened randomly on the 20th of March. I literally wrote, I allowed the girls to bake muffins for the first time, and there was little casualties. Because I had always, my girls, mommy, can we bake? Mommy, can we bake? I'm like, no. And I look at, like, I'm not that mom. I'm not that mom. Let's bake. Oh, my girls, let's bake. I'm not that mom. No. That day, I said, okay, guys, okay, let's bake. I saw the joy, and that went into my journal. So, and what does it do? It opens you up for more things. You are able to look around and say, for example, this conversation, Anesu, is going into my journal today. I'm grateful to be having this conversation with you. I don't know you. You don't know me. But what an amazing time that we are spending, and as strangers in the season that we are in. So I definitely encourage gratitude, because it opens you up to more stuff. And then last but not least is the power of vision. The power of literally maintaining your goals, maintaining your vision. What I do, I have my goals written down in my journal, and you won't be able to see it, but those are all my 15 goals for up to the next 5 years. Oh no, I hope somebody's not going to screen grab that. It's fine though. So these are my 2020 and beyond goals. So every day when I'm in prayer, I look at them and I literally declare them with my mouth. if I'm not declaring them with my mouth, I just pray. I just pray for them. And the same goals that are sitting here, they're on my phone. So they're on my screen as pictures, as visuals, because somebody said yesterday, day before, that I was interviewing regarding vision boards. It's actually the life that you want in picture form on a board.
Yeah.
So I've got this written down and I've got it on here, and I thank God for it. So for example, I'll just share one of my visions is I've got many things that I can share, but one of the things I'll share is the 7 books that God has placed inside of me. And what I do, I'll say, I've got the 7 books written here. I've got all the titles. I've got when is the first one, the second one, the third one, the order they'll launch. Yeah. And what I say is, Lord, I thank you that you've enabled me to write these books and that they've launched, that they've impacted lives. I thank you for the right platforms that you are helping me put these books in. I thank you for the people that will access these books, that their lives will be changed. So I'm praying for these even before they happen. So that is basically the dream challenge. And what's beautiful about it is that every day when I'm in prayer, I pray for those ladies. Every single day, I pray for the past cohort, the current cohort, and future cohorts. I'm just covering them so that when they are in the program, I want them to see their lives really supernaturally change.
Love that. It is incredible. Absolutely incredible. And how do people join this dream challenge? Like when can they join?
Okay.
You know?
So we've got it's literally, I've made it very easy in that the first of every month is a new challenge. So from the 1st of each month to the 21st of each month. So for the last 8 months up until July, we've been doing it via WhatsApp. So I would put out a link on social media platforms and people will just click through and come onto the WhatsApp group. And in the WhatsApp group, they get all the information. They get a manual, they get surveys that they need to complete once they've completed the challenge. And then every second or third day, I'll send out a scripture, a quote, or a word of encouragement that's basically coaching them through the journey.
Okay.
And also the women have access to me in that I have women texting me on the side. I'm struggling with this. Then I'll have a coaching moment, a mentoring moment, or a counseling moment. So every week doesn't pass, Anesu, when I haven't counseled, mentored, coached somebody, be it about their marriage, their children, their purpose, name it. So that's what it is. But from August, we are moving the platform to Facebook. So we've created a Facebook group, a private group, which is not opened yet. It's been created. So at a certain point, I then send out the invitation that people can actually come through and be part of this program.
Okay, fantastic, ladies. Please check out this dream challenge. It sounds great. I want to join it.
Yeah.
I really do want to join it. I think a lot of the things that you mentioned, even with this challenge, are tools that we can use to recondition ourselves for this new normal.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I want to touch on anxiety, like just managing anxiety and uncertainty. How do you think we can go about doing that in this season?
Sure. So the most powerful thing that you have, Anesu, is your voice. Your voice is the most powerful thing that you have control over and that you listen to more than anyone else. And that's why in coaching, even though I have a solution for you, when I'm coaching for you, I can see it. I can, if I should be I should be cynical at that moment. I could say, can't you see? It's right in front of your eyes. Here it is. But as a coach, I can't do that. I need to let you go through the journey yourself. And that's the restraint that a coach needs to have. You see the solution because you're looking at the holistic picture where your client is concerned. But it's the restraint of not giving them the solution, but allowing them to come to their own. And that's why we pose powerful questions that unravel what's happening inside the person's soul so that they can then come to their own conclusion. And the reason we do that is because research shows that an individual often does not take advice easily from other people.
Okay.
Even if it's true.
Yeah.
But once they own it and they voice it out, so our journey is to pull it out of the individual so that they go, aha, I'm actually supposed to do ABC. That's it. How are you going to go about it? Well, I'm going to take this step. Great. When do you think you'll do it? I will do it. Fantastic. When are you able to give me feedback? So then the person takes ownership of it. So it's so very important during this period that you talk to yourself. You need to be conscious about talking to yourself. And that's why, as part of the dream challenge that I share, what I share with the ladies, I share 2 types of declarations that I encourage them to say every day. And these declarations were given to me by God in difficult moments when I just felt my mind was not okay. And my mind was just feeling so much pressure from a financial, from a marital, from a work, from a business point of view. And God gave me these and said, if you declare these and you literally believe them, you will see them come to pass. And they're as simple as they're based on the word. So it's 7 declarations. All I say is, I am a ruler. I am peaceful because my mind is stayed on Christ. I keep in step with the Holy Spirit. I am diligent and skillful. I am wealthy without painful toil for it. I am wise, fit, healthy, and fruitful. I make disciples of nations. And why these declarations? I'm a ruler because I left employment. And if anybody has been in employment, you know how it sucks out the you in you.
Yes.
Because you sit in meetings where people do not give you the permission to be who God has called you to be. And when you shine, people feel threatened. Yeah. Why does she have the audacity to be like that?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize after 17 years that you actually start becoming quite, you waiting for permission. You want everybody to give you permission to speak, permission to step in. And I realized that the word of God says in Genesis that God has given me authority. And therefore, I'm a ruler. So I used to declare that. And I still declare it up to now. I am a ruler. I am peaceful because my mind is stayed on Christ. It's because I had so much turmoil in my mind because of an issue that I was going through. I was thinking about it constantly. It was owning my day and my night. And I said, I refuse. So I started thinking that those thoughts, which is based on Isaiah 26, I am peaceful because my mind is stayed on Christ. And then keeping in step with the Holy Spirit. When I keep in step with the Holy Spirit, he guides me. He says, Bathabile, turn left. Bathabile, why don't you go start dinner? Oftentimes I'll go start dinner. As soon as I'm finished, hubby drives in. And I'm like, oh, just imagine him coming home and like, you're only starting dinner. I'm hungry. So the Holy Spirit guides my life. He guides me. Bathabile, yes, exercise now. Bathabile, why don't you call this person? I'll call somebody and it will be just at the time when they need it. Yeah. So I am wealthy without painful toil for it. Anesu, people are toiling for money. People are selling their souls for money. People are stressed and depressed because of money. We were never meant to toil for money. God's plan is for us to have full provision without us toiling. Yeah. And right now, my life is not a life of toiling. I don't toil because I'm not longer going and knocking at someone's door. And God meets all my needs. I can tell you it's a conversation for another time, but I've seen God supernaturally meet my needs, all because I've said, you are the one who's going to meet my needs. And I am fit, I am diligent and skillful. That is based on the book of Proverbs. Do you see a man who is diligent, who is excellent, who is skillful? He will not stand before obscure men. He will stand before kings. And therefore, as an entrepreneur, as a businesswoman, diligence and excellence needs to be part of me, because when you're in the office, it's easy in the office to sort of keep yourself together in corporate because you've got KPIs that you have to adhere to. You've got a boss that's over you. You've got colleagues that have expectations. There's project deliverables. When you're on your own, it's a different case. Yeah. If I don't launch the 21-day challenge, nobody will know. It doesn't matter. Diligence and excellence is something that I'm striving towards every single day. And it's a constant battle for me because I've got so much that's tugging at me. So I make that confession every day. I'm diligent and skillful. And I'm healthy, fit, firm. And that is speaking to my body.
So good.
And if you can have what you want by saying your mouth, who says you can't have the dream body that you want by using your mouth?
Yeah.
So I declare every day, I am wise, I am healthy, I am fit. And also the inspiration for that was I saw a lot of peers succumb to cancer. And so many people, young Black girls, are having cancer. And if you know, growing up, we've never seen it as a disease for us Black people. We've never seen it in our moms, in our aunts, in our grands. And now I lost a close friend to cancer.
I'm so sorry.
And I realized that I need to be healthy. I need to be healthy for my family. I need to be healthy for my purpose. Therefore, I say it, but I also do the things that are required. I exercise. I drink my water. This is like my body that goes everywhere with me. I eat healthy. So Habi and I are on a eating plan where we're eating protein and vegetables and fruit. We've cut out junk food. We've cut out fizzy drinks. And we will have a cheat day on a Sunday where we'll eat whatever we want. But we find that when Sunday comes, we don't feel like eating whatever we want, you know? So I've realized that my health has become so important. My health has become my life. And lastly, I make disciples of nations. When Jesus Christ left the earth, he said that we need to go and make disciples of nations. And what is making disciples of nations? Making others follow Jesus by discovering their purpose. And that's what I'm called to do. So I meditate on those things. When things get difficult, Anesu, and that's why I know them by heart. When things get difficult, I just say, I am a ruler. I am peaceful because my mind is stayed on God. Because it's the word. Whatever's trying to attack me runs because the word is coming in. So that's what I would encourage somebody. Find something that resonates with you and really declare that, because there's power in your mouth.
Love it, love it, love it. So true. So incredible. That's the power of declarations and affirmations is a big thing. It's such a big thing. So thank you. And those are powerful. The declarations are powerful. I want to write them down. They're so good. They're so good.
I'll share them with you, and I'll share them with you. The other one that I give the ladies, which I have not said to you, is based on the book of Proverbs, and it's something also I taught my children, and I am gonna recite it because that's how I taught it to my children. My mouth is a fountain of life. Wisdom is found of my lips because I am wise. Because I hold my tongue, I am wise. My tongue is choice silver. My lips know what is fitting. My mouth brings forth wisdom. My lips nourish me. So that's how I got my children to memorize it, giving it a location. And so I declare that. And why? Because in the times that we're living in, people's mouth are not choice silver. People's mouth is poison.
Yeah.
You know, and I realize that I've got 222 ladies that are sitting in the 21-day challenge. Yeah. My lips need to be nourishing.
Yeah.
They need to be nourishing. And that's why in the group, once I see somebody post something that relates to fear regarding coronavirus, I'm like, ladies, that's not why this platform is here. We are here to build and grow each other. We are not here to encourage fear or any such.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. Love it. So true.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to ask another question, and this is also not in the list of questions, but, and I think you've kind of touched on this because you've told us your habits. I have this system, I think, that I implemented at the beginning of this year just to keep myself in check, because I used to battle with depression and anxiety. And so this year I said, no, this is like, I don't want to sit in this pain, and I don't want to feel like this anymore. And so I set in place my non-negotiables for each day. So which would be my quiet time in the morning. That's how I start off. Exercise, personal development. Those are my 3 tasks that I started off with at the beginning of the year. And then I've added to them gradually, and I kind of adjust. But my 3 main solid non-negotiables: quiet time, which is my prayer, my journaling, my gratitude; exercise; and a session of personal development, listening to a podcast, a book, etc. I wanted to see what your 3 non-negotiables are. No day will pass without you doing this. And you did kind of mention brushing your teeth, kind of that analogy. But
so my non-negotiables are, it's praying, it's reading the word. So praying, reading the word, and daily declarations all form one. So that is one non-negotiable for me. And the second non-negotiable is journaling my gratitude. A day does not pass when even if it's 12 midnight or 1 a.m., I will journal the gratitude for the day, because I always said, if I'm not asleep, it's still that day. And technically in another country, it is still that day. I will journal.
Definitely.
So it's journaling. Exercise, I won't say, because I take a break on Sundays. I don't exercise. So it will be the devotional, it will be the journaling, and it will also be the reading. The reading, I read every day. I love reading. And something that you mentioned, which is a passion of mine, that self-development piece of listening to podcasts, and I love that. And I listen to quite a few podcasts. I listen to Teresa Valfoy. I listen to Lisa Gomez Osteen. I listen to my husband's preaching. I listen to, there's a lady that, Joy, I think her podcast is called Becoming Joy, and she just speaks to women who are entrepreneurs and who are Christ-centered. So that I love listening. And then as I pick up on my feed on YouTube, I'll see if there's anything that stands out and I'll listen to it. There's a little girl that I listen to, and I say little because she's like 26, but she's doing amazing things. There's a little girl called Erin on Demand. Wow. She's an American YouTuber, content creator. She is amazing. She records twice every month. So I listen to her as well, because her content is building towards, me being a content creator from a purposefully branded point of view. And also there's a Nigerian girl called Kelechi Megbegwa. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but if you just put Kelechi, Kelechi, she's also incredible. And I listen to Kelechi and Erin on Demand from a business point of view, just to help me, from a marketing and from how to just position purposefully branded. So these are young girls who are giving us fire as those who are about to be 40. I'm like, these young ones, they are keeping us. I mean, for me now, looking at your setup there with your studio, with your office and whatever, guess what? Next time you have a meeting with me, watch that space. You won't be seeing my office curtains.
We are ready. Awesome.
So those are, yeah.
Okay.
And also there's a young lady who has really revolutionized my social media world, which is Kopane Shimange. I don't know if you know her. Kopano Shimange. She is the owner and founder of Club She Is. I joined a program of hers, which was a 90-day blueprint challenge, posting on social media every day. That showed me flames, but I have since adopted it. Yeah. I've done it 3 times already since last year. I've done 3 cycles of 90 days, and I'm doing my 3rd cycle as I speak. I launched a new platform using her formula, and the new platform I launched is called Scent of Leadership. Scent of Leadership.
Touch on that, hey? I wanted to ask you about that because I saw it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Scent of Leadership is a baby God gave me that is just, it's basically equipping those who are still in corporate. Not everyone can leave corporate, Anesu, and I had to be sensitive to the fact that, there are those who are stuck in corporate, and how do they tool themselves up to show up in a way that is pleasing to God and that shows them up as ambassadors that are there to change the world. And that's how Scent of Leadership came, is how do you leave the scent of Christ in your workspace? How do you show up as a professional, as a dedicated, but as somebody who's an ambassador that is there to change lives, so that by the time you exit, more than people remember the deliverables and the projects that you launch, people must remember her spirit, her presence. Yeah. She changed my life by her presence in the office. So that is what Scent of Leadership is. It's an incredible journey that God is opening up. There's plans I've got around it, and they will unravel as you stay tuned on Scent of Leadership.
Love it. Okay, and our last but not least, last question. How do we prepare ourselves to be successful in this new environment? And I think we've basically, answered, but yeah, I guess practical skills, habits, anything just with regards to preparing ourselves for success in this new season.
Okay, so I think the first important thing, which is something that's I've been exposed to recently, is we need to look at ourselves and say, what has really created the limitations in my life? Ooh. So have an honest conversation. I had to have an honest conversation with myself in terms of what has really created limitations. Because with the kind of person that God has created me to be, in all humility, I should be writing already launched books. I should have been on thousands of podcasts. What has been stopping you, Bathabile?
Yeah.
And what has been stopping me is what I alluded to in terms of diligence and excellence. In terms of, sometimes we are, oh, la-di-da, oh, it will happen. But if you look at the greats, that's not how they achieved great things. It's by looking at your vision and taking it seriously and treating it as though it's that job that you're delivering on, be it at APSA, at BMW, at MultiChoice, because that's where I've worked previously. But it's literally seeing Purposefully Branded as, this is where I need to deliver, and I need to treat it with the same respect. So it's looking at, say, what has actually limited me, what has limited me before, and being honest and saying, I have not delivered.
Yeah,
I have had a bad attitude.
Okay.
I have been broken because people have hurt me, and that has clouded how I show up every day. So once you start looking at that, God gives you an ability then to be able to start dealing with those challenges. And then you need to start looking at, where do I want to influence? Because success, there's good success and there's success.
Yeah.
And you want to get good success. Yeah. There's a lot of people who have success by virtue of their number of followers, the money they're making, the car they're driving, the house they're in, the Brazilian they have. But do they have good success? And good success for me alludes to the stuff that's happening inside. How many people, Anesu, do you know who have 100,000 followers, but they're struggling with depression? And the reality is that we are spirit beings. So when you come under somebody who has a spirit that they are struggling with, you are going to be impacted by that spirit. And that's why I am conscious. For example, I started the Visionary Wife Takeover for the week. Yeah. And before I sent out my post for the first 2 sessions, I prayed and I said, Lord, I pray for these wives. There's a wife who is struggling in her marriage. I pray when she reads this post, encourage her, help her. I'm intentional. I don't post for the sake of getting numbers. I post for the sake of changing lives. And that's why my feed is not necessarily one where you'll see me traveling to wonderful places. And not that there's anything wrong with that. It's the mandate God has given me. You are a disciple maker. So by the time this week is done, from a visionary wife point of view, I want someone's marriage to be changed. I want someone to see themselves as the wife God has called them to be. So then look and say, what is it that I need to influence in? And then once you found it, start equipping yourself to be able to do it. And that equipping is not necessarily a formal setup in the sense of going to a formal institution or a formal course, which you can do. It's in reading books. Find books that speak to what you want to do. It's in finding initially free courses. Don't go wild in the free courses, because all of us have gone wild and we've been on 10 courses that we've never challenge number, I'm on that. I'm on that. No. Ask for direction. What do I need? For example, I've just started a 3-month leadership training with Nonna Jones. Nonna Jones is the head for faith-based initiatives at Facebook in the United States, and she's got a success leadership program that she runs, and I was privileged to be part of it, which started this week. And why I wanted to be part of it is because Nonna is making moves where she is from a prejudice, a justice and prejudice point of view in America, standing up for the rights of Black Americans. And she's doing incredible things from a ministry point of view, equipping ministries to be able to see themselves as social changers. And I see that and I like it. And also she has an incredible story. I read her book because I was part of her launch team last year, beginning of the year, when she launched her book. And I just watched her story and I thought, if this woman can make it with such challenges, Bathabile, you have no excuse. So I surround myself with greatness, be it virtually, or in terms of the women that are around me. I surround myself with women that espouse what I want to be, or who have what I really admire.
Fantastic.
So that's what I say to somebody. Yeah.
Fantastic. Awesome. Thank you so much for this conversation. You really poured into my life. And we are just
Wow,
so grateful
thank
to have
you.
such a bold, strong, beautiful woman really walking in God's purpose for her life. Just being able to see
Amen. Amen.
and seeing and hearing the passion in your voice. I think a lot of us really want to tap into that. We want to be on this earth and live out our purpose. And
Yes.
thank you
Yes.
for just being here, being open, being willing to have this conversation and pouring into our lives.
You are absolutely welcome, Anisu. Thank you so much. And thank you for your great initiative and the things that you are doing. And I pray that God may just expand you and may you be able to touch so many more lives, because we need platforms. There's enough space for everybody.
Yes.
There's enough space for everybody. And that's why I'm so passionate about, I've heard people. So I'm one of those people, I'll call a friend and I'll say, can I pick your brain regarding an issue? And because I'm quite open to people phoning me, and because I do get people who ask for advice from a marital point of view, from a purpose, and I love giving of myself because God has put so much, so I have no issues giving out. And I just want to encourage people to, be a vessel to be used. Don't see, when you see crowds, don't see money. See people whose lives need to be changed. And I've seen, because I have 222 ladies on the group, and then you'll have somebody wanting to market something, or they'll want to sell something because they see numbers. But I'm not seeing numbers to make money. I'm seeing numbers I'm seeing 222 ladies that are going to be impacted, and they're going to go out and impact for Jesus. So let's not have a direct marketing mindset when we see people. Let's have what an opportunity to impact for the kingdom when I see these numbers.
I see that. I agree.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. I will put all of your links. Please just remind us of your IG page
at Purposefully Branded at Purposefully_Branded. So it's that on Instagram, on Facebook as well. On LinkedIn, it's Bathabile Magethi, and on Twitter, it's just Bathabile Magethi, even though I'm not very active on Twitter. So the main platform I use is Instagram, and Facebook is my secondary platform.
Okay, awesome. Cool, we'll catch you there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Anisu.
Light-filled, love-filled, warm day.
Thank you so much. You too, hey. Get in. Bye.
Hey there, gorgeous. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Becoming series. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. Like, share, repost, and stay tuned. For more information on who we are, visit www.wearebecoming.co.za. You can also catch us on Instagram at becominginitiative_ and on Facebook at We Are Becoming. Keep queening.